Hey everyone! So now that you had a chance to become familiar with Keith Haring, we are going to create Keith Haring figures. And before we can get to the figures, we have to do our background. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So for today, I am using these neon temper cakes. But if you don't have like bright colored paints at home, really you could use any paint. You could paint your paper with regular watercolors. You could use quick sticks. I know some of you have those at home. These are neon quick sticks. Regular ones would work as well. And if you don't have access to paint or quick sticks, markers will completely work great for this project. Absolutely no trouble at all using markers because you can get a nice solid color and you can achieve the same result using those. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get my paper. I've got my bright colors here. Now temper cakes are sort of like watercolors in that they require water in order to have them like be activated. So what I'm doing is I'm just wetting it, I'm rubbing that color onto my brush, and then I'm just going to start to put down that color on my paper. Whatever color you start with, whether you're painting or you're using marker, I would put that color down in a few spots because it'll help you to achieve the color just a little bit quicker on your paper, like get everything colored. And then you can go on from there to your second color. I always like, if I'm painting, to use the lighter colors that I plan to use first and then the darker colors. So that's kind of how I'm going to attack this part of the project today. Lighter colors, then I'm going to move to my like darker, like my blue and my green. Now remember, if you're using watercolors or temper cakes like this, 2 coats of paint is always going to give you your brightest color. Usually that first coat goes on pretty light. So I definitely probably would still give it a second coat. And you can overlap your colors. Just be careful that your colors don't get what is called like muddy, like really dark looking suddenly, because maybe like they've mixed a little bit too much. Try, if you're going to overlap, to think about colors that look pretty good together, so you don't have to worry about getting any of those like browns or grays. And now I'm going to go to my blue and my green. And I like when the blue and the pink overlap because you get like a really cool purple. And now I'm just going to go back and I'm going to give each of my colors a second coat just to make it brighter. And of course, if your first coat came really bright, you don't have to do a second coat. I just prefer my colors to be to stand out a little more. See, you can see that yellow so much better with the second coat. And do the same with the orange. Especially, I guess, too, with the neon colors. They're a little more transparent than regular colors would be, which means like you can see through them a little bit more. So a second coat makes that a little bit better. So if you're using the regular watercolors, 1 coat might do you. And I'll let that be totally your choice. And then next week, we will talk about creating our Keith Haring figure, because you're going to have some options with the figure that you create. So I want to kind of go over those next week with which figure you'll make, what it'll look like, if it'll be like a person or an animal, because you probably saw that he loved to draw like dogs as well, like these little wolf creatures, animals rather. almost there. And we can see those colors so much brighter now with the second coat of paint. It's just a lot more noticeable. All right, and my green. My favorite color, you guys know that. Alright guys. It's all dry. When it's all dry, we'll talk about our figures. Alright guys, have fun.